Just a quick update on how things are going with the Oodarifle. I'm going to go ahead and cut out the Oodarifle because that's a completely different line of guns made by the Dunkus, and this is morphed enough to just call it a different name, I think. Changes in this from the last one are a different handle. The other one I had was fine, except that it would snap off if you loaded too many bands and you didn't put the stock up against your shoulder. It would just snap. Instead of using rubber bands to lock this in, I now have a system that holds it in place. There's a ball joint right there, which hooks into a green rod right there. When you pull it back, just like that, stays back nice and sturdy, won't all of a sudden snap forward. Then, in order to snap it into place, you do have to use a little force here, but you do that, and then it's solid in place. Still utilizes the same clips. I added a rail up top to add attachments to. I just haven't built any yet. Reworked the trigger so that you pull it now instead of push it forward. The old mechanism is still in place. I just added something to make it so that it was a pull and not a push action, just because that's a lot more natural. And then on the stock, I added these things right here. Just a guide for the pullback, slide back mechanism. Originally, I was going to use this snowflake connector to pull it back, but there's a lot of friction in doing this, and it's just really hard to grab a hold of this, so I'm going to try something different. But this works exactly as it's supposed to. Again, really hard to do because I'm only using one hand for this, but yeah, the rails work exactly like they're supposed to. Rather interesting how they're locked in here, but yeah, pretty cool. And then I got a Y connector there holding it so that the gray rod doesn't push forward when you push on the snowflake. Again, pretty cool, but yeah. And let me pull this down so that it doesn't get destroyed when I fire the gun. And trigger does work better now that I made a pull, not a push mechanism. So that's the update on that. And then the update on the Oodarifle pistol is I just changed the mounting. There was Y clips here before. I just added a red connector here because that worked better for me. Just added a red connector there and connected it on the red connector, and yeah, works better for me that way. Still too close there, but that's corrected when I have the pusher. It just pushes it down. I think it probably could be mounted even better than this, but I haven't thought of one yet, and not entirely sure if it's even possible, but I think it probably is. I don't know. Anyways, I wanted to make a sturdier handle, so I was just like, hey, I know 45-degree angle handles are really nice. Well, the Oodarifle has a 45-degree angle, and it's really the comfiest one I've ever built, so I just decided to slap that on here with mostly stock edition, but I had to change it a little because I needed to mount it to my gun. So anyways, again, probably a longer video than it needs to be. It's just me rambling on about different changes I made. But yeah, really excited about how this is developing. I'm excited that this doesn't use rubber bands anymore just because they were really so-so for me, but got a better trigger. Got a slide to pull back. Again, not perfect, still working on that. But yeah, and then we got rails to put maybe some optics on. So we'll see how that goes. But that's the update. So